Developer Mastery Consultant. Got an interesting question from somebody in our accountability program. The question was, I know someone who is a young guy looking for an opportunity. We know him well through the family, good guy, disciplined, caring, etc. Want to hire him to call my database. Thinking about paying him something modest, like $250 a month, that kind of stuff, to call the database and dig out some leads from the database. And this is a lender example, so whether this applies to your business or not, just roll with me on this one. And so pay him this kind of salary to call the database, and if it creates purchase appointments for me, this person's a realtor, wonderful. And if it creates refis, let him get paid on the refis in addition, something like this, okay? What do you think? And so I thought the question had enough elements in it that it would be worth sharing with everyone here, because it involves the elements of how do I hire, who do I hire, what roles do I give them, how do I compensate them? So let's peel away the layers of the onion here if we can, okay? Number one, if you're asking me what's the most important role to hire for, boy, there are quite a few, but calling for follow-up or calling through a database is a biggie. So I am a huge fan of the idea. How's that? If you're not going to do it yourself, which unfortunately most sales professionals I know don't do, and that's why their volume's not what it ought to be, you need someone to do it, because 90% of sales occur on the 4 through 12 contact. The fortune's not in the follow-up. The whole freaking enchilada's in the follow-up, right? So if you're not doing it yourself, but you want to bring on somebody to call through your database, the answer is yes. However, are you ready? You must macro manage through the metrics. In other words, if you just hire somebody and then you abdicate, which is what most people do. In other words, you don't even delegate. Delegation means you macro manage through the metrics. You're still monitoring what's going on, whereas abdication means you're not paying any attention whatsoever. So do not abdicate. Don't waste your money if you're going to do it that way. So how do you macro manage through metrics? By seeing their work, seeing their numbers. In other words, you could create a Google spreadsheet and list every name in the database and download it and put it in there and have this person place notes in the spreadsheet. That way you can visually see the calls they're making. You can get together with them for 15 minutes or less on a weekly call, but it has to be the same time every week with discipline, and review how many calls did you make and how many appointments did you set for me. Don't do it if you're not going to macro manage through the metrics, right? I love the weekly meeting concept, even a few minutes. Okay, let's continue. How much do you pay the person? I love the idea that this person has of paying something like $250 a month, because the reason I like something like that is I hate hourly rates. Many of you have heard me say this before. You get what you pay for. If you pay for hours, you're literally telling people to work more and do less. It's the opposite of what you want. You don't care how hard they work. You care that they're getting you results, right? So the idea that you pick a dollar amount you're comfortable with works for me. I like that idea. This is your business after all. So to say 250, okay, good, I'm in, right? Now, here's the part where I'd like to recommend a different frame of reference. Let's say this person creates transactions for you, or also finds, in this case, refinances. Should they get paid on the refinances? My answer would be no. And the reason I say no is it's your business. It's your leads. It's your database. They don't get the upside on your database, if that makes sense. This is your database. If you want them to call the database, they call the database. You know, I do have a lot of people that are very successful in business that don't agree with me at all on this one, but I'm very opinionated. Are you ready? I don't like incentives in general, because great people work whether you pay them an incentive or not, and lazy people don't work whether you pay them an incentive or not. The incentive does nothing except cost you more money out of your pocket. So if this person pulls in refis, get paid on the refis also, okay? It's your transaction is what I'm trying to say. I think in this particular case, it's a realtor, so the realtor doesn't get paid on refis anyway. So, you know, what I'm trying to say is it probably makes a case in the sense of the person I'm talking with. But either way, here's the concept. The concept is pay them a compensation. That's it. And if they do a great job, just quietly and privately keep increasing their base salary and honor them with unconditional love, if that makes sense. Okay, that brought up a few different topics here of compensation. Who do we go for? Let me throw one last one at you. Hiring young people. Oh boy, am I going to get myself in trouble with this one. My experience is it generally doesn't work. There are exceptions, but who is your database? Are they serious of purpose? Are they grown-ups? For most people I work with, they're people that are already in their 40s, 50s, 60s is the database, with families and that kind of thing. So you need people that can connect with them. On the other hand, are you ready? If it's somebody just digging buckets, and calling up and asking people, hey, look, are you interested in getting information about maybe lowering your monthly payment on a mortgage, or are you interested in, do you know anyone who wants to buy or sell? Somebody with a work ethic and a discipline can do that. Okay. I have a client who owns a call center in the Philippines. There's accent issues. There's maybe communication or, savvy issues. And yet, the relative cost there is low, so that the return on investment is still high if you have people call. So take what I'm saying with a grain of salt. I prefer people that sound like and look like your database, your clientele, but there are exceptions. So more importantly, take action and build your business. Take action. I love this person asking me about, I'm thinking about doing this. This is what I'm thinking about compensating for it. The only thing you could do that would be wrong is not do anything, not take any action. Do something, take action, adjust as you go along. Hope this video is helpful, folks.